Welcome everyone to a crayfish catch and cook episode. This is a bit of a different one. I'm not going out and catching it today, but I'm gonna run through how I make a beautiful crayfish pasta. So I'm really, my mouth is watering. It's actually early morning, so this is gonna be my breakfast. Throughout the year, we catch a lot of crayfish, whether it be diving off the beach, getting some abalone and I get the odd crayfish, or out with Shannon, going into some deeper holes, pulling out some big jumbos, heading up with my dad, chasing the whites when they come in, and just going under a shelf and seeing it absolutely loaded with crayfish, and filling the kill tank, wrapping those crayfish up, putting them in the freezer. When times like this come and I feel like a crayfish, I can go in there, pull one out, and we've got a beautiful crayfish ready to devour. Crayfish is just one of those things, whether we're putting it straight on the barbecue, getting some garlic butter over it, watching it sizzle, eating it that way. I know Buddy loves that. Buddy's very hard to get away from the crayfish on the barbecue. Or if I'm making up a big jar of pickled crayfish, or we're just throwing them in some crayfish wraps, because wraps are pretty hard to beat as well and the kids love it. Let's get into today, because I have got this lovely red cray. This one's a red one. It's not in its shedding phase. Today's ingredients, I'm gonna use half an onion, 2 nice cloves of garlic, some basil, some cherry tomatoes, only 2 little chilies, because the kids are gonna have some. This is our brekkie. Bit of butter and olive oil in there, and a little drizzle of cream, just to really bind it together. And then dressing it with some beautiful Parmesan cheese. Okay, the pasta is in, and now it's time to get the meat out of the crayfish. So I'm gonna get this out on this tray so I don't lose too many juices onto the chopping board. Woo. Right, that's gonna stay on there. Trying to keep this contained could be a bit of a mission. All right, so I've just gone straight down the middle there. Open this thing up, and that should peel off. That's our big chunk of crayfish. We have, whoa, a beautiful strip of crays there. All right, those egg noodles come up so beautifully. That's the same noodles that I used when we did that amazing abalone pasta. These herbs, I'm just gonna break apart. I don't wanna get too much action on those. The chili's gonna get a little slicing. The crayfish, straight down the middle. I love getting nice chunks throughout the pasta. Would you look at that? Pasta check. Magnificent. A little bit of Himalayan sea salt, a couple of cloves of garlic, knock the ends off, little crush. Give that a little slice. So, water off. I'm gonna drain the pasta liquid. Pasta is drained off. It's looking gorgeous in there. Just gonna grab a little bit of our butter and oil combo and just stir that in there so it doesn't go sticking while we get into the other action. Pot transfer, get the big fryer going. Butter and oil is going into the pot, pan, let that melt. Half an onion, and then just a rough sort of dice. The onion, and the garlic and chili combination. The other thing I want to get going is these tomatoes. They're straight out of the garden. I just picked those. They're gonna just get that nice little pop. There's only a handful in there, half a dozen, because I didn't want to take all of the cherry tomatoes off the trees. As we're cooking, Just want to flavour it up, a little bit of pepper. Catching crayfish is one of my favourite things to do. The hunting side of it is amazing, and it's for us, it's something that we have them in the freezer certain times of the year through summer where we can get our hands on a bit more, and it just means we can pull a crayfish out every now and then and enjoy it through winter, which when you're not getting quite as many. So it's a really nice thing, and I love catching and getting out there with mates is so good. You always have a laugh and have some fun, and picking up some abalone along the way is always good. Or if I'm out there with Dad catching crayfish on the scuba tank, it's something really nice. Dad's been very influential for my journey in the ocean. He's always been a diver, been a fisherman. So going there and seeing Dad catch some crayfish always lights me up. Time to get our crayfish in. I've been cooking the whole time thinking that high was one way and low was the other. I've just corrected it, so hopefully I get a bit more heat in there now. Plate number 1. Then I'm gonna have plate number 2, or bowls number 2 and 3 for Honey and Jaya, because this is their breakfast as well. What a brekkie, hey, crayfish pasta. The crayfish is coming along nicely. It's almost all gone white. You know your crayfish is cooked because it goes from like that translucent colour, and it then comes a nice white, like chicken sort of white meat. So once that is almost just a little bit further cooked, I'm going to add in our cream to make the saucy aspect of it, and then our pasta. Cream, pop that lid, get our Parmesan cheese ready to go. This is such a crumbly one. Oh, I could just bite that whole thing. Okay, cream is going in. I just want to get that, once that's bubbling, I'll add the pasta in. Fold it through. Be amazing. The bubbling is starting to happen, so we're getting very close to adding this pasta back in, folding through our fresh herbs, giving it a little season. Okay, give this pasta a stir up again. That bit of butter and oil, then it stays lovely and moist. That is looking so good. We're about to eat. I'm so excited. It is time to add the pasta in. Let's go. Yum. Now the herbs are going in. Honey and Jaya, do you want to try some pasta? The taste testers are here. Do you want to grab a couple of bits of basil to garnish it on the top? And then come and sit either side of me for the plate up.
So good, Dad.
We're going to put a couple of fresh herbs on to finish it. Whoop. Duck and weave. Oh, I will. Okay, that's our finished product. We're going to serve up a couple of plates. Bowls. We've had a hectic morning. Kids are off to different plays, and I think Jaya's going out on a boat with a mate. Honey's off to a sleepover and movie party. We've got to wait for your Parmesan cheese topper.
Oh, you got Parmesan.
Yes, proper hard Parmesan. Take a big bite out of it. Yeah?
Should I turn it off?
No. Oh yeah. Let's fish out the crayfish because we need the chunks. Dress it up with your basil. Finish it off nicely. How is this for breakfast, kids?
Good.
Well, it's not too pretty on my plate, but that there is the finished product. A garlic, chilli, a little bit of chilli in there, crayfish pasta for brekkie. Let's try this thing out. How is it? A little bit of salt on top. And that there, guys, is how you make crayfish pasta. That time it was a cray out of the freezer, but you could do it with a fresh cray, it'd be just as nice. Chunk of crayfish, I gotta find a chunk of cray.
Yum.
That is so good. Try and get it all on one.
Can I taste like a prawn?
Crayfish and pasta, yeah, it's just like a big prawn. Well, that's a wrap for this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed watching it and learned how to cook a beautiful crayfish pasta. And it's always good to rip something out the freezer when you haven't had it for a while. We've been eating crayfish all season, but I wanted to show you how to do this. But this was a crayfish out the freezer. But you could have this any time of the year if you're being self-sustainable, keeping your crays and your fish in the freezer. You got seafood all year round. Enjoy.